Hello, hello, hello. This is Tom from Tom and Ruth Philippine Adventures. I am sitting outside at the, we call it the Blessing House. I'm just sitting out here because you know what? It's such kind of a wonderful, beautiful day. And I'm going to do a video on, look how beautiful it is out there. Isn't it nice? Anyway, today I'm going to do a video on budgets and budgets here in the Philippines. I'm setting this on Chicha's little planter, and I had cake earlier, so excuse that. Yeah. Anyway, what we're going to talk about today is three budgets for the Philippines. You know, we talked about this many times, and I've talked about this. And today I've realized something too, that I guess if you look at it this way, there's three budgets to live in the Philippines. You have low, you have medium, and you have high. Now low is just survival. Low is you're coming here, you only have an X amount of dollars, and you're coming here and you can only pay your electric and your rent and groceries, and you live by yourself, or you maybe have Filipino as a child, and you guys are just doing the best you can, and you live for whatever dollars. That could be 100 US, 300 to 400. Now, and you're maybe not paying rent, or even you're paying rent. And we know a lot of times you can pay rent anywhere, depending on where you live, from 1,000 peso all the way up. So, in fact, there was a house over here for rent, 1,000 pesos, just a regular house, a block house, guys. Had a bathroom, CR, bathroom, everything for 1,000 peso. And it was not in a flooded area. So, now we rented a house for 2,500 peso, 2-bedroom, 1 bath. And it's a brand new house. I mean, it's painted, it had a nice door, and it was locks, it had air con, it had everything you would want in it for $52. But you have three budgets. One is low end, and that's what people believe I'm living at, but okay, whatever. Then you have what they call another budget. It's going to be anywhere from $400, $500, $600 that you can just live and you can just have a good time, meaning you still live, you still go out to eat, you still do whatever you want to do. Well, I consider myself into that budget. I still do whatever I want to do. I went to CDO, I go to Davao, I'll go to CDO again next week. I'm going to Davao in another week or so, and it's still going to be included in this month's budget. And I spent in CDO the other day. We went to CDO, spent the night. It was $20 for the night, $21 for the night. And my food and all expenses and everything was less than 5,000 peso. It was less than $100. Counting the tickets there, counting the tickets back. So, and we did stuff. And we bought some other stuff too. We bought stuff. So, you can spend, as you know, if you have a budget of 2,000 US dollars, most of the time you spend it. So, but here you can live pretty good for, like I said, maintain a lifestyle for $100, $200, $300, $400, or you can live from $400, $500, $600, $700, or even on up to $800 and live okay. You're not going to live in a city with that. You can live in a city with that. I have many of my friends living in Makati. I have friends in Cavite. I have a friend in Manila, but their rent is 100 to 200. My friend has a townhouse right there in Manila. He rents for 10,000 peso, and he lives there. He lives there fine. It's him and his wife and a daughter, and they're fine. His 4-year-old daughter, and he lives for about between $400 and $500 a month. That's fine. Does whatever he wants. Go to the mall. Has a Starbucks. She does whatever he wants to do. But you got to realize too, a lot of these people are going to festivals. They have some type of fruits available there close, and you know, I mean, it's like Chicha said this morning, 35 peso for a kilo of bananas. It was 20 peso a week or so ago, and you'll see them as the crops are coming in. It's cheaper, like pineapple, 20 a kilo right now. Papaya, 20 a kilo. I don't remember some of the other fruits. I went and bought a bag of oranges with about 9 oranges about the size of my fist for 120 pesos, something like so, for $2. Yeah, it's $3. Just say $3. So you can live in that range, you still do. But then if you get up into 8, 9, 1,000, 11 or 12, then you can just pretty well do whatever you want. And that and above, of course, you're going to live like a king. Then you get into housemaids and drivers, and then you can do your yard and have somebody do your yard, things like that. But you can actually hire a houseboy or someone like that. But you got to realize they're living here in the Philippines, depending on where they're at and what they're working. They're making anywhere from 300 to 500 peso a day. It's given benefit of the doubt. They're making 500 peso a day, which that's the average salary in Manila. That's minimum wage. In Manila, it's 500 peso a day, so it's 3,000 a week, 12,000 peso a month, because they're working 6 days a week. And at that, they're surviving really good, and they're living like a king. I have some cousins here through Chicha's family that are making, it varies in price from 20,000 a month to 30,000 a month, depending on their capabilities, with college degrees, with a degree in civil engineering or degrees in electrical engineering, things like that. Now, some places, some pay more, but these are, I say, young men and women coming out of college, been in a job force for about 2 years, and they're making 25. One's making 20 still on his engineering job, but that kind of gives you an idea. So if they're living in a new house and some are driving a car or loan, but you can manage your budgets accordingly. It's like you always, as you know, if you have that 1,000 peso in your pocket, sometimes you have it and you spend it, but a lot of times it's just planning your budget out. Make sure you really know what you're spending it on, where you're going. If you're spending a lot on food, like going out to eat, nice restaurants, stuff like that, because you got to eat. You got to spend a normal. You can still have your cornflakes and your meat and your beef and your chicken and your potatoes and all that stuff. But here, it's a little different. Even though prices are increasing, you can still buy fish at fairly decent price. Chicken runs about 200 peso, $4 for a decent sized chicken here cooked, things like that. But you know, I was looking on the internet today also, and they were saying that the average check for Social Security in 2018 ran about $1,300 US dollars a month. Average check this year went up because of 2.8 increase, and the increase that they did was, so you run it at 1,400 to 1,450. It's really the average that everybody gets here, well, in the United States. Now, I did some research on that also. So if you're getting an average of $1,400 a month and you come to the Philippines, you can live like a king on that. You could there's a lot of people at $1,000 live like a king. There's a lot of people living on $1,100, $1,200, $1,300 living like a king. I live like a king on mine. So I can do whatever I want to do, and we pretty well do whatever we want. But it's like, you don't spend more on what you have. Always have a reserve. Always come here and don't spend all the money that you have. Like for an example, have enough for your insurance. If you're on a budget, just make sure you don't dip into the other money. Have it extra for in case if something happens, emergency, for yourself or your daughter or your son or your wife. So it's all about planning things, and have a few thousand extra for emergency. I would say 5,000 minimum up to 10,000. 10,000 and above is really key. Some say 50 or 80 or 100,000 because you got to worry about 5 years from now or 8 years from now or 10 years from now. But if you manage your money and budget your money and try to do the best you can as far as don't go buying a lot of things, you can survive really good here in the Philippines, just like you can in the U.S. It's no different. An apple is an apple here like an apple is in the United States. It's all the same. You can control your money in the U.S., you can control it here. There's not anything different here that you're going to be spending on here. In fact, it's going to be a lot less. You won't be buying a lot of stuff. You won't be buying a lot of junk unless you want to buy it. Because you don't very rarely see hoarders here. You don't see people, they don't have yard sales. They have places you can go to buy stuff, but you really don't see someone that hoards a lot of stuff. If you go into a Filipino house, a normal Filipino house, you'll see it's neat and straight, and sure they have boxes or they have a cabinet full of stuff, but you won't see it like it is in the U.S. You won't see where their kitchen table is full of things. You won't see where their closets are full of things like that. a lot of people do. My mother and father was kind of a hoarder. They not as if they had that much stuff, but they would go and see something, they buy it. They didn't need it. You have one can opener, why buy 3 more? Well, that was my mom and dad. I mean, I remember them when my father left. I mean, how many ties does a man need, right? Do you need 100, 200 ties? Do you need 10 suits? And my father was one of these guys, he only had 1 suit, he had 10, he had 20. My mother had 1 dress, she had 20 in hats. Where's my mother wearing a hat? I never saw her hat before in my life, but she had hats. And I don't understand it, but that was my mother and father. And a lot of people have that same mentality when they come here. My friend Alton, he loves tools. So no matter where he goes, he buys tools. He doesn't need them. He already had 4 packs of drill sets at the house, and yet he goes buy 2 more drill set packs. And I'm talking complete packs of drill bits. So I asked him, I said, do you need 2 more? Well, I have some, but okay. Well, you know, it's your money, you buy whatever you want. So here in the Philippines, you really don't need a lot of things. You don't need 100 shirts. You don't need 100 shorts. You live simply here. So I remember getting rid of all my stuff and my jackets. And man, imagine the jackets and the ties and all the stuff I had when I traveled a lot, and London fog jackets and leather jackets. I gave all that stuff away. I don't need no leather jacket here in the Philippines. So I want to thank everybody for watching, and please hit subscribe.